All right, let's step into what really feels like the classroom of the future. Today, we're going to be exploring a really powerful new tool that's completely changing how we learn science by taking it out of the physical lab and into the virtual world.
I mean, just think about it for a second. What if you could run any experiment you could possibly dream up, right now, without a single worry about breaking crazy expensive equipment or, causing some kind of dangerous reaction? What if you could actually see invisible forces, like a magnetic field, twisting and turning right in front of your eyes? This is the powerful promise we're diving into.
But first, before we get to all that cool future stuff, we kind of have to understand where we're at right now. So let's talk about the traditional science lab and, well, some of the challenges that come with it.
And look, a lot of this is probably going to sound pretty familiar to most of us. You've got the super high cost of all that lab gear, the very real safety risks with certain chemicals, or just the simple fact that you often get only one shot to get a complex experiment right. These are real hurdles that students and teachers are dealing with every single day.
So the big question is, how do we get past these barriers? Well, the answer seems to be moving the lab out of the physical building and into the digital one. And that creates a whole new world for scientific exploration.
And right at the heart of this big shift are interactive STEM websites. Now, to be clear, we're not just talking about watching some videos or reading an article online. No. These are dynamic, hands-on platforms that use simulations to build these incredible virtual labs, turning abstract ideas into something you can actually touch and interact with.
So what can you actually do with them? Well, you can run experiments from anywhere, you can visualize things you'd never ever see in a textbook, learn concepts through game-like challenges, and even get a learning experience that's tailored just for you. It's a seriously powerful toolkit for anyone who's trying to learn.
Okay, this all sounds amazing, but how do these things actually work? What's the tech? What's the secret sauce that makes them so effective? Well, the real goal here is to change learning from something passive, like just reading a book, into something you're actively doing. The technology is all designed to spark your curiosity and keep you engaged, and hopefully, turn that feeling of confusion into a moment of real understanding. And when you put them side by side, the contrast is pretty stark. A physical lab is expensive. A virtual one is way more cost-effective. Physical labs, of course, have safety concerns. Virtual labs are completely 100% safe. And maybe the most important thing is, where a physical experiment might be a one-shot deal, a virtual one can be repeated over and over and over until you've truly mastered the concept.
But this isn't just about clicking through a simulation. No, it's powered by features like gamification, using things like points and badges to make learning feel more like a fun challenge. You get real-time feedback that shows you instantly where you might have gone wrong, so you can actually learn from your mistakes. It's that whole mix of features that makes the experience so engaging.
But at the end of the day, it's not really about the cool tech, is it? It's all about the impact on students. So how do these tools actually help build better thinkers and better problem solvers? What these platforms do is they totally shift a student's role from just being a passive listener to an active participant. You're not just memorizing facts for a test anymore. You're actually developing critical thinking, you're honing your problem-solving skills, and you're getting ready for the kind of work you'll actually be doing in a future STEM career. And listen, this isn't just a nice theory. We've got research to back it all up. One study on a virtual biology lab found that it didn't just make complicated topics easier to learn. It actually improved students' attitudes towards science itself. I mean, that's a massive win.
So what does one of these platforms actually look like out in the wild? Well, the article we're drawing from uses its own platform, PraxiLabs, as a great case study to show how all these features can come together.
And the scale here is, well, it's pretty impressive. We're talking about more than 220 immersive 3D virtual experiments in biology, chemistry, and physics. That turns a huge chunk of the science curriculum into these really cool interactive experiences.
So, with all that in mind, what does this all mean for the future of education? Where exactly is this all headed?
You can really see this incredible evolution of learning laid out right here. We went from textbooks and chalkboards to where we are today with these interactive virtual labs. And the next giant leap forward? Well, it looks like it's going to be driven by artificial intelligence and fully immersive VR and AR.
I mean, just let your imagination run with this for a second. Think about an AI tutor that adapts a lesson to your exact learning style in real time. Or imagine putting on a VR headset and literally walking through a human heart. We're even looking at a future where students on different continents can all meet up inside these virtual spaces to tackle huge global challenges,
like climate change.
Which kind of leaves us with this one last big thought. When you remove all the physical and financial barriers to experimenting, these tools start to blur the line between guided learning and just pure, unfiltered discovery. They basically give every single student a laboratory with infinite possibilities, and they're not just asking them to learn science anymore. They're asking them to be a scientist.